Hey friends, welcome to the part 26. We are looking at real questions. So, if you are searching on YouTube, this is the handle of the channel. We have uploaded parts 24 and 25 in the members area. Please click the join button below this video, or you can use the link in the description to join. Please become a cloud kernel, that's the cheapest one, which will give you access to additional questions, all important questions. If you have not yet subscribed, you can wait for one more year till all your peers become certified. Or if you want a first mover advantage, subscribe now. Believe me, there are so many people who have gained, who have passed the certifications using the content on this channel. There are so many playlists on AWS, Azure, GCP, cloud certifications, Snowflake certifications. See, this is a classic real-time example. What happens is, you know, we are having dev teams and they have so many projects and then they are using S3 buckets. Each project is using their own bucket. So what I am getting from the question here is they are having a problem. First problem is they are getting service limit alerts on S3. That means it is saying, buddy, I cannot create more S3 buckets for you. Simple. Okay, if thumb rule, always remember thumb rule. Whenever you get this problem that there are too many S3 buckets, ask yourself, in the Windows Explorer world, what will you do? If you have too many folders, you will create subfolders. Okay, here also subfolders, there is no concept. The concept here are called prefixes. So first thing you have to do is, did you make use of prefixes to organize objects? Why the hell you are only creating S3 buckets after buckets? Why you cannot use prefixes? Did you ask that question? If you have not asked, let's ask it now. Now, if I see prefixes, I see only one option. Only one option. That is option B. So this is my answer, potential answer. Now, some people may ask, boss, what is code pipeline, right? What is this? See, whenever we talk about DevOps, CI/CD pipeline in AWS world, for continuous delivery pipelines, you have code pipeline. You know, there are oil pipelines. It's kind of like that. Here we have code pipelines, which will deploy the code. What does oil pipeline do? It moves the oil from where? From one point to the other point. Similarly, code pipeline, it moves the code from where? From one environment to the other environment. That is what code pipeline does. See, A is so wrong. It is telling, boss, you have suppose 5 code repositories, you combine everything. Okay. Now that is so wrong. Why it is wrong? Because today I have the latest version of the code. Why will I combine it with 5 days previous code and make it still? Why will I do that? Just because you are stupid. You don't know how to create separate prefixes. No, that cannot be the solution here. So A is so much wrong here. Now option C. See option C, when you were doing your engineering or graduation, anything, especially engineering and medical, there were some nuts. They used to join the engineering courses and then after first year they used to say, Daddy, my course is too tough. I am not able to cope up. Let me try. People are saying that now fashion designing is really cool. Let me skip this engineering course and take admission in fashion design. C is just like that. In one region itself, you are struggling. Now, what you are doing is you are want to go into a different region. Okay, you have done 40 in one region. Now you will do 40 in other regions also. That means you have screwed up one region. You want to screw up the other region because you don't know how to work. Now D, you means it's not you. I'm not scolding you as such. I'm just giving an example here. Okay. D is saying we will create a pipeline and S3 bucket for each project. Boss, you are already doing it, and that is what we have to solve. The question is saying why this guy is so stupid that he creates S3 bucket every time. To solve that problem, option D is saying, boss, let us keep doing that. So this is wrong, right? My final answer. Now let us look at this next question. See, think logically. Always think of a question like a story. Then it is so easy to answer it. And spend time to read the question, to read the options. That way, it will, your brains will understand the question. Your brain will get into the flow. Magic happens when your brain is in a flow. Magic cannot happen outside the flow. It happens inside the flow. The key is that how fast you can get inside the flow. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour. Initially, it takes a lot of time. But once you get a hold of a subject, within 10 to 15 minutes, you should be able to get inside the flow or in the flow. Now, in this question, it is very simple question, extremely simple. See, what they are doing is they are testing a system one or more times a week. Whenever they will test for 2 3 hours. It's like people are going on date 1 or 2 times a week. Whenever they go for date, they go for 2 to 3 hours. It's just like that. So this RDS, whatever resources, this RDS, EC2 instances, you need only when you are on date. That means your car you need only when you are on date. Your wallet, your other things that you want to take during the date, flowers and etc., whatever, chocolates or gifts and etc., diamonds, depending upon how rich you are. Okay, depending upon how much you want to spend on a date which will leave you, it is up to you, but you will only need it during that time of the date. Similarly here, you will only need these resources only when testing is being carried out. And when is the testing carried out? It is carried out 1 or more times a week. Whenever it is carried out, it takes 2 to 3 hours. Simple. You cannot change the architecture components. That means if you see option A, they are saying, hey, you know what, I would convert RDS to Aurora. That is not allowed. That is simply not allowed. So A is wrong. Now B is also wrong. What B is telling, hey, you know what, I will use auto scaling group. Okay, why we use auto scaling group in EC2 instance? We use it to add or remove capacity. If the demand increases, we want to add capacity, then we use it. Did this question tell you that the demand is fluctuating, the demand increases, EC2 is not able to cope up? No, boss, there is no such thing. So why waste time on these crap options? Now option C is telling you replace EC2 instance with EC2 spot instance, and you replace RDS database with RDS reserve. First of all, did they say to change the architecture component? No. So why will I change RDS database to RDS reserve instance? That is point one. Point two is EC2 instance, you just need a vanilla EC2 instance. Now why are you becoming creative? Hey, let's use spot instance, let's go for reserve instance. Okay, first eat the bread and butter that has been provided. Don't think about ice cream. This leaves us with only one answer. This would be the final answer. Why? What it will do is, see, like I told, you're going on a date. Only for that period of the date you need a very, suppose, lavish car, lavish watch, and whatever. Okay, so do you need to buy a car, or only during the dates you can rent a car or take a Zoom car, or so on? Okay, here it is saying was only during the date I will start and stop. Only during that testing I will start and stop these services. How I will do it? I will automate it. How I will automate it? I will use systems manager. I will use CloudWatch event to trigger it. Simple. So what they are doing is they are automating it. They are saying whenever you are going on a date, I will make sure the car is on your gate for you. Okay, or whenever you are going on a date, we will ensure the restaurant is booked for you. Those kind of stuff. So here, whenever you are trying to test, before that I will start the service. Once you are done, after that I will stop the service. Once you are done with the date, after that we will take away your car. We will no longer book the restaurant table for you. After you are done, you move out. Simple. So what is the advantage of doing this? The advantage is you are saving costs. You are only using your resources, EC2, RDS, etc., only during that testing. Otherwise you keep it shut down and don't pay for it. This would be my final answer. I hope you agree with this narrative and the concept we are trying to explain. Okay, if you think you are not in alignment with this, you have some other concepts, please drop in your comments, we can discuss. Now let us analyze this next question. This question is on AWS organization. Why organization is used? You want to centrally manage your environment. Okay, see, in your environment, typical environment, you have so many resources. Now it becomes so difficult for administrators to manage it. If you want, so that is a purpose of organization, that we will make administrator life easy to manage this. That is a purpose. See, this is also a security question. The problem here is they don't want any EBS volume to be unencrypted. See, unencrypted data means anybody can read it. Probably with their naked eyes, anybody can read it. See, in large projects, in real life projects, we always strive to use automation, because manually not possible for human beings to identify which volumes are unencrypted. So we want an automated solution so that we are always compliant. This check is always present, always compliant. Okay. So see, when you want automation, when you want to enforce a policy through automation, what are you doing? You are saying, boss, anybody with unencrypted database cannot stay. For example, anybody in your country, what happens? Anybody without a valid passport, without a valid visa, cannot stay. Now there are two ways of doing it. Manually you rely on people, like it is done in West Bengal. So there are a lot of infiltration keeps happening. Or you have an automated system, like in the border itself, nobody would allow you to get in. So similarly, I mean, in various countries, wherever there the borders are there, the chances are that borders can become porous also. So that is not only one country's problem or one state's problem; it's a lot of other country problems also. So we want to enforce this automatically. This check. How to enforce it? The enforce is always through policies. SCP. SCP. You see this? SCP. SCP is what will help you enforce it. So always remember this thumb rule. If you want to enforce a compliance, use SCP. This is service control policy, and this is a type of organization policy. So this would be my answer. First, why? Because we are using multiple things. They will create a config rule to check EBS encryption is enabled or not and deploy that rule. Second, they will apply a SCP to prohibit stopping and deleting configuration across organization. That means, see, the two things they are saying. They are first implementing a rule. They are saying, boss, EBS encryption should always happen. Now, some idiot can go and remove this rule. That's why SCP they are creating, so that any idiot cannot stop or delete this rule. So this will meet our goal. Now A is wrong. Why A is wrong? See, this is not a question of cloud formation. First simple thing. Cloud formation, why we use? See, when you want to create your infrastructure as a code, that means automation of infrastructure creation. Then you use cloud formation. In this question, nobody is talking about creating infrastructure as a code. So this is totally wrong. Okay, it's totally wrong. See, option C is a reactive solution. They are saying that okay, the moment you are creating EC2 instance without encryption, it will not allow you. Okay, that is one. But what for those stuff which is already there? You have to address that also. And then they are saying we will use Athena to analyze CloudTrail outputs, and then we will see how many events were denied. So this is all reactive, right? See, if you have to make sure that borders are not porous, illegal people cannot enter. It has to be proactive. You have to stop the people there itself. You cannot say that okay, you come inside and then we will check your passport once you are in Delhi. We will check your passport once you are in Mumbai. We will check your passport. It cannot work that way. Okay, you have to stop it there itself. And option D is saying, see, option D is only using IAM role, and they are identifying all EBS volumes in the account, and they will publish the report. Okay, boss, where is the action, boss? You have to stop from such thing from happening, right? Proactively. Where is that action? You are only producing a report that oh hey, you know what? Five people crossed the border, and they don't have a valid visa, and they are in Delhi. Boss, how does it help? So this would be my final answer. Now, if you have not yet subscribed, believe me, people, believe me, so many people have passed the certifications. There are so many playlists available to help you clear AWS, Azure Cloud, Google Cloud, Snowflake certification, and so on. So, people, this brings us to the end of part 26. Stay tuned. I will keep posting many more such informative content.